Just moments ago, the internet exploded as Kanye West made explosive claims in court that have stunned fans and the music industry alike. Kanye alleges that hip-hop mogul Diddy orchestrated a campaign to break him by manipulating his own wife through blackmail and forced her to cheat me by having some loving moments in his mansion. The shocking revelation has sent shockwaves through social media, with millions eager to hear the full story behind these unprecedented accusations. Kanye's words echoed through the courtroom, sending a chill down the spines of those in attendance. The artist, whose life has been played out in the spotlight with both moments of triumph and episodes of public unraveling, laid bare a narrative that had long been whispered behind closed doors. With tears welling in his eyes, Kanye recounted how he felt trapped in a marriage that he now believes was quietly undermined by one of the most powerful men in music. The courtroom sat silent as Kanye described a pattern of behavior, suggesting that Diddy preyed on vulnerabilities in his relationship, exploiting fissures in his marriage through manipulation and strategic interference. According to Kanye, this was not about jealousy or rivalry, it was psychological warfare waged by someone he once viewed as a peer, or even a mentor. The stakes, as Kanye outlined, were far more than celebrity drama. It was, in his view, a deliberate campaign to psychologically dismantle him using the one person he trusted the most, his wife. As the legal team representing Kanye presented documents and communication records, murmurs filled the courtroom. Some of the evidence reportedly pointed to a chain of texts and messages that Kanye claims reveal undue influence and suspicious closeness between Diddy and his then-wife, which he says he overlooked at the time out of trust. Kanye described moments where decisions were made in his family that didn't seem to come from his wife herself but instead mirrored suggestions and attitudes previously echoed by Diddy. These eerie coincidences now appear to him, in hindsight, as signs of a deeper, more insidious manipulation. For Kanye, this was not just a marital dispute, it was psychological sabotage. I wasn't just losing my wife, he told the court. I was watching her become someone else, someone I didn't recognize, and I didn't know why until now. What makes Kanye's accusation even more explosive is the context in which it's been made. This courtroom appearance is tied to a broader dispute related to custody, property division, and reputational damages stemming from the divorce. But what was expected to be a standard celebrity split has morphed into something far more profound and unsettling. Kanye's courtroom revelation seemed to be a culmination of years of inner turmoil, frustrations, and suspicions. Fans familiar with his public meltdowns, cryptic tweets, and erratic interviews are now revisiting those moments with new eyes, wondering if they were cries for help or coded messages pointing toward this moment. It is as though the curtain has finally been pulled back on a drama that Kanye says he has been silently enduring for years. Critics and skeptics have been quick to raise questions about the timing and motivation of Kanye's revelations. Some have asked whether these allegations are part of a broader legal strategy or an emotional reaction born from unresolved grief. But for those who watched Kanye speak in court, it was hard to ignore the raw emotion that gripped him. His words weren't delivered with calculation, they came like a torrent, a desperate outpouring from a man who believed he has been wronged in the most intimate way imaginable. Even those who have often criticized Kanye for his outspokenness or impulsive behavior found it difficult to watch him suffer publicly without feeling a pang of sympathy. Whatever one's opinion of Kanye West, it's impossible to deny the humanity in his pain. In Kanye's view, the breakdown of his marriage wasn't the result of natural differences or incompatibility. It was, he alleges, engineered. The concept that a powerful third party could have had such an impact on his relationship introduces a disturbing angle that fans and observers are now grappling with. He went on to suggest that Diddy's alleged manipulation wasn't rooted solely in personal malice, but strategic ambition to dominate not just the music scene, but Kanye's mind. You want to kill a man, you don't always need a gun, Kanye said. Sometimes you just have to break what he loves the most, and then sit back and watch him crumble. These words lingered in the air, a chilling statement from a man who felt hunted in his own home. The internet responded with an immediacy that only modern celebrity culture could produce. Hashtags like #Kanye breakdown, #Diddy allegations, and #he controlled her began trending within minutes. On Twitter, opinions ranged from outraged support for Kanye to cautious disbelief. We've watched this man suffer publicly for years. One tweet read, "Maybe this is the truth behind it all." Others argued that the allegations were too wild to be taken at face value, demanding hard evidence before judgment could be passed. Still, the power of Kanye's words, his visceral breakdown in court, cannot be ignored. Regardless of where the truth lies, the emotional weight behind his claims has stirred something deeper in the public consciousness. Diddy, for his part, has remained publicly silent. though insiders suggest he is working with a legal team to respond decisively. Sources close to him insist that the accusations are baseless, describing them as the tragic fallout of a broken marriage rather than a criminal conspiracy. But the court of public opinion moves faster than the law, and Diddy now finds himself under a microscope like never before. Every past comment, interaction, or photograph involving him and Kanye's ex-wife is being analyzed, dissected, and interpreted through this new, explosive lens. Rumors about tensions between the two men that once floated quietly are now being dug up and re-examined with intensity. Kanye's breakdown also raises deeper questions about the pressures of fame, trust, and manipulation in the celebrity world. Relationships in the public eye are already fragile, but when surrounded by figures who hold immense power, they can be even more vulnerable to interference. Kanye's account paints a picture of isolation, a man at the top of the world yet unable to protect the sanctity of his marriage from outside influence. It's a sobering reminder that wealth and status offer no immunity from betrayal or psychological manipulation, and if Kanye's account proves to have merit, it may open up a broader discussion about boundaries in professional relationships, especially in industries where fame, ambition, and ego often blur ethical lines. Psychologists and commentators have already begun weighing in on the psychological trauma such manipulation could inflict. One expert noted that if someone truly believed their spouse had been manipulated into betrayal by a trusted figure, it could lead to intense feelings of paranoia, loss of identity, and emotional collapse. Kanye's erratic public behavior over the years, his outbursts, his battles with mental health, his frequent feuds, may now be reinterpreted as symptoms of a deeper emotional war he felt powerless to stop. In his own words, Kanye stated, "I lost my family, but worse, I lost myself watching it happen." There's also a moral and cultural layer to this story that many are just beginning to explore. If Kanye's allegations prove true, then this isn't just a personal tragedy, it becomes a cautionary tale about unchecked power, the fragility of trust, and the importance of emotional autonomy. If Diddy really did use his influence to control another man's wife to emotionally destroy him, then it signals a level of manipulation that goes beyond rivalry. It becomes predatory. The conversation is now spilling into broader questions of ethical responsibility in celebrity culture. Can someone truly be held accountable for emotional interference? Can manipulation without violence still be considered abuse? These are questions the public, and perhaps even the legal system, will have to confront as this saga continues to unfold. As more information emerges, the eyes of the world will remain fixed on Kanye and Diddy. Fans want justice, the media wants answers, and Kanye wants, more than anything, to be heard and believed. His courtroom moment wasn't just a cry of anguish, it was a declaration of truth, as he sees it, and a warning to anyone who may still believe that the glamorous lives of celebrities are immune to darkness and betrayal. His breakdown was more than spectacle, it was a raw exposure of the emotional carnage that lies behind the carefully curated social media posts, the designer fashion, and the award shows. It was one man's reckoning with the people who, he says, tried to break him by destroying the thing he loved the most. Whether the court ultimately sides with Kanye or not, what can't be denied is that his words have already started a conversation that can't be undone. Trust, manipulation, emotional betrayal, and psychological warfare are not just themes for movies or music, they're lived experiences, even for those at the pinnacle of fame. The entertainment industry has long hidden behind its glittering facade, but Kanye just tore a hole through it, exposing the raw and ugly truths that often lie beneath. What happens next will determine not just the legacy of this trial, but perhaps the legacy of Kanye himself. If you've made it this far, we want to hear your thoughts. What do you believe? Are Kanye's claims a revealing moment of painful truth, or are they a misdirected outcry in the midst of personal chaos? Either way, one thing is clear, this story is far from over. Make sure to hit the like button if you found this breakdown insightful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth coverage of this and other breaking stories from the world of music, culture, and justice. Turn on those notifications so you're always in the loop. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay informed and stay questioning.